For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys different makeup products and techniques that I like to use to get my everyday mom-friendly makeup routine, because realistically speaking, I don't have a ton of time to do a full-blown makeup look every single day.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah.
I have an active 2-year-old little boy. He loves to be outside, so there are certain things that are very important to me, one of which is skin protection. I have to make sure it's somewhat long wearing, and I want my skin to still look like skin, because I don't want to be that mom at the park with a full-blown makeup look to the point where it looks like I'm wearing a mask. So I want my skin to still peek through, but I want to look put together. I know, so many things on the checklist, but these are all things that are very important to me. And if they are important to you, I think you are really going to enjoy today's video. So kick back, relax, grab a snack, matcha tea, water, whatever you drink. Today I have coffee. And without further ado, let's zoom in and let's get started. Before starting with anything, I'm going to slick back my brows. I've recently been into the laminated brow look all over again. It was something I was so hype on and then I stopped, but now I'm kind of feeling it. So I am going to be using my Rare Beauty brow gel, and I like to just brush this the opposite way, so that way it really gets in there and coats my natural brow hairs. I'll brush it down, I'll brush it up, and then I'll finally just lay it exactly where I want it. I feel like this method is the best method for applying any kind of brow gel where you want to like slick down your brows. Just take a look at this brow versus this brow over here. I feel like there is a huge difference. I am really picky whenever it comes to brow gels. I don't really like a ton of them because my eyebrow hairs, they are like relatively curly, so they're really hard to slick down. But this does the job. It does not get crusty or white or clumpy. It's just the perfect brow gel in my opinion. I'm gonna wait for my brows to completely dry down and we're gonna work on skin prep. I'm gonna use this here by the Inkey List. This is the Bioactive Ceramide Plumping and Repairing Moisturizer. This is such a long name, it's so hard to forget, but I do really like this. I feel like it really hydrates my skin, firms it, and it really just feels nice, and it wears really nicely underneath makeup, which is really important to me. And it's also really affordable. Since we're already on the topic of brows, I'm just gonna go in and fill in my brows. I'm gonna be using an eyeshadow to do that. I'm gonna use my Makeup by Mario, the Neutrals eyeshadow palette. And I'm gonna take this dark brown shade here on a BK Beauty number 209 brush. I really love how tiny this angled brush is, so I'm able to really create fine hair-like strokes with the brush. Let's go ahead and move on to more important things, which is my base makeup. Whenever I'm going for something super fresh and natural, what I personally like to do is just even out my complexion. So before I do that, because I already have moisturizer down, I'm gonna go in with face primer. I'm gonna use the All Nighter Face Primer by Urban Decay because I do want this to last a long period of time. And I find that this wears really nice underneath any base that I apply, whether it's something super natural or full coverage. I'm really feeling like I need some lip balm, so I'm gonna go in with this by Nudestix. This is my first time trying it. It's the Hydropeptide Lip Butter with Shea and Avocado in the shade Candy Kiss. So I'm gonna take this and apply it. Okay, it's looking like it's like a light pink color, but it's not too pigmented. Really, I'm just using this to hydrate my lips before makeup. Let's go ahead and move on to the base. I am going to use this by Supergoop. This is the Protect Tint SPF 50. I like that this comes in a bunch of different shades. I decided to get 32N because your girl's super tan right now, and even though this looks ashy in the bottle, I'm hoping that it works out for me today. This is just going to be like the first layer of product that I put on my skin. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty number 101 brush to buff and blend this out. This is like one of my favorite brushes because it covers a decent amount of real estate, so I'm able to really buff and blend the product out relatively quickly. So this side here, I have one layer of this, and this side here, I have nothing at all. I think the side with the Supergoop Protect Tint, it looks very even, like the product completely even out my skin complexion. Granted, you can still see my skin peeking through, and you can still kind of see like the blemishes that I have going on here, but my skin looks so pretty. For me, this is very sheer to light coverage, and it definitely reminds me of like no makeup. For me, it's so pretty, but I definitely want like a little bit more coverage. Like I still want my skin to look like this, but I don't want like this. peeking through. So let me show you guys how I add a little bit more coverage without completely covering up my skin. I'm gonna go in with this by Iconic London. I have been testing this out behind the scenes and it is so pretty on the skin. The shade I have here is medium warm and I like that it also comes in that dropper. Holy moly, I applied a lot, but realistically speaking, just apply a little bit to the back of your hand, pick it up with your finger, and then just dot it in the areas that you need a little bit more coverage, and then press it into the skin. So for me, I really just want a little bit more coverage through here and like on my chin. And you're gonna see just how well this transforms the skin. I'm telling you, skin tints are really where it's at this summer. Like everybody wants their skin to look like skin, but they want like a little bit of coverage, and I feel you, like same girl, same. Let's go in with bronzer. I think my bronzer of choice is going to be this one by Westman Atelier. What I really love about it is that once I place it, it stays in place and it doesn't move all day long. Like it doesn't migrate to other areas of my face, and that's exactly what you want in a cream contour stick. With my BK Beauty number 106, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that contour stick and I'm gonna press it here. And I like to apply it to the brush first because I just feel like I have more control over the product, and this way I don't over apply the product. Let's go in with concealer. I'm going to use the Givenchy Prism Libre Concealer, and I am almost out of this one. I have the shade N280, which is my self tan shade, and I'm going to take some through here just to lightly conceal. I'm also going to put some on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use my BK Beauty number 108 brush, and I'm going to dip into that concealer just so that way the bristles are evenly saturated with product. And then I'm going to press and blend, and this is going to give me such a seamless application. This is like my hack with everything. If I'm using a puff, a sponge, a brush, I feel like it just applies a product a million times better. Let's go in with blush. A blush formula I've been loving is this one here by Nudestix. These have SPF 30 in them. So what I like to do on days where I'm taking my son to swim is I'll apply a little bit of this on my blemishes, and then a little bit of this, and it gives me the prettiest sun-kissed glow. It's not too much, not too little. It's like right in the middle, and I really love the way it looks. But today I want to try this one out. This one is in the shade Peaches and Soul, just to bring life back into my skin. I'm going to be filming tons of content today, so I really want a nice color on my cheek. So I'm taking some on the back of my hand, and then with my BK Beauty number 106, I'm going to pick up some of that product and then just apply it to the skin. You can see just how seamless it went onto my skin. I don't really have to work too hard to buff and blend it out this way. Definitely try it out. If you're applying product like blush and bronzer straight to the skin, try picking it up with a brush first, and I feel like you really get like an airbrushed finish. I'm also going to take some here onto the apples of my cheeks. To set my face, I'm going to use a little bit of loose powder by Huda. This is the Easy Bake powder in the shade Cupcake. One thing I will say about this is that you do have to be careful with it because your face can go from looking very luminous and glowy to really matte really quickly. So I'm going to try to use this very strategically. With one of my Amazon puffs, I'm going to pick up a little bit of the powder, shake it off, because one thing you want to make sure is that the powder is like even on the puff. So I'm going to take it, press it on the back of my hand just so that way majority of the powder isn't like sitting on the puff. And then I'm going to press it right here in the very inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to keep it like underneath my eye because realistically speaking, I really just want to set my under eye area. And you can bring it down a little bit right here around the nose. And you can see I barely have any product left on my sponge, and it is mattifying this area of my face like no other. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Cloud Set powder by Kosas in the shade Pillowy. This is a relatively deeper shade, and I think it matches my skin really well. I'm going to use a number 103 brush by BK Beauty, and I'm lightly just going to tap and set these areas of my face. I love that this is going to set things down and in place, but it's not going to overly mattify the skin, and it's not going to add additional coverage. It really is just meant to set and nothing more. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Soft Focus Setting Spray by Hourglass. If you guys have not tried this, try it. It has such a beautiful fine mist, and it just sets your makeup so beautifully. I am obsessed with this setting spray. For mascara, I'm gonna use my Saint Laurent Lash Clash. Again, one of my personal favorites. I have this in the waterproof version. I just don't know where it is in front of me, so we're just gonna go regular today. And then I'm gonna put a little bit here on my lower lashes, but nothing too crazy. I feel like whenever I'm going for a look like this, I don't want my makeup to look too heavy. So I really just do a light amount of mascara. For my lips, I don't want to do anything too crazy. So I'm gonna go in with this Huda Beauty lip liner in the shade Terracotta, and I'm gonna line my lips with it. For my lip color, I'm gonna use this lipstick by Makeup by Mario. This one is in the shade Sierra. Usually I'll top things off with a gloss, but because my skin is so pretty and dewy and luminous, I want to balance things out with an all matte lip. All right, you guys, so that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed sitting down and chatting with me about different makeup products and techniques that I like to use to get my everyday mom-friendly makeup routine. On a day-to-day basis, I don't have a ton of time to do a full-blown makeup look, and this is really what I reach for. I like to use these techniques to really get a flawless base and just look somewhat put together. So take it with a grain of salt, use what you have at home, try out different techniques because I feel like they can really help change up your everyday makeup routine. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you want to see anything else in particular, leave me a comment down below. I'll be down in the comments, replying, chatting with you, all of that. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.